When asked about his lack of friends, the Stoic man compared friendship to a diamond. He said, "Friendships are rare, precious, and often surrounded by imitation. After a few wrong decisions, you start to believe that all friendships are just illusions, fakes." Echoing this sentiment, another person noted, "True friends are treasures to be treasured. Rarely do we find a friend in life that we can truly hold in such high regard." But what does that mean when you often navigate alone in a world that seems to be full of relationships? Does your lack of friends point to something deeper, something inside you? Today we dive into this sensitive topic, exploring the nuanced world of friendships, or the lack thereof. We look at the complexities of modern social dynamics and how they affect our relationships. Remember that not having friends does not reflect your worth. Sometimes it's about finding that real gem. Stay with us as we dive into why some struggle to find these connections, explore the root causes, and most importantly, discover the practical Stoic steps to building true and lasting friendships. Just as a sculptor carves a stone to reveal a masterpiece, you too can shape your social world by creating meaningful relationships that stand the test of time. Stay focused and let's navigate this journey together with Stoicism, open minds and hearts ready to learn, grow, and connect on. Shyness or introversion. We are designed to be social creatures, but for many, the maze of social interaction feels like a puzzle with missing pieces. Being shy or introverted is often seen as an obstacle in this journey, but let's flip the script. Imagine that you don't see these lines as obstacles, but as unique perspectives to see the world. At the core of Stoic wisdom is the ability to turn perceived weaknesses into strengths. The first step is to accept who you are. Remember Marcus Aurelius, who whispered through the ages, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." Your introversion is not a fault. It is quiet power. It's understanding that your journey is different, not less. By accepting yourself, you free yourself from the shackles of what-ifs and should-bes. This self-acceptance is your armor in the fast-paced world of social interaction, making you steadfast in your quiet confidence. Now let's talk about the present. You're at a meeting and you feel that familiar shyness. Stoicism shines through here. It tells you to focus on what is in your control. Your control is in your actions, words, kindness, not in the thoughts or results of others. When you speak, do not do it to impress, but to express. This shift in focus from fear of judgment to the authenticity of your words lightens the load, making conversations less of a battlefield and more of a playground for genuine connections. Also understand that friendship is not a prize to be won, but a garden to be tended. Let go of the need for instant results when looking for connections. Like Seneca, who saw life as a journey, see each interaction as a step on your path, not a test of your worth. By focusing on being your authentic self, you make room for relationships that resonate with your true self. Remember, from the Stoic view, every person you meet is an opportunity to learn, grow, and reflect, not just one friend on your list. Through the lens of Stoicism, shyness and introversion are transformed from shadows to sources of power. It's not about overcoming these traits, it's about understanding them and using them to navigate the complex world of relationships. 2. Trust issues. Trust issues often arise when navigating the maze of friendships. It's like walking a tightrope, balancing your values with the unpredictability of others. Trust is not given as free samples in store. It is earned little by little. Start by understanding yourself. What makes you tick? What scares you? Clarity about who you are is like a compass in the desert of relationships. It's knowing when to open the door to someone and when to keep it closed. Remember how the tree stands firm. He knows his roots. Like this tree, know your roots, your worth. This self-knowledge is your anchor in the ever-changing ebb and flow of relationships. Realize that people, like the seasons, change. Someone may seem trustworthy today and turn around tomorrow. This is not an invitation to build walls around your heart, but rather to recognize that the only constant is change. Maintain your emotional balance. When trust is broken, it's not the end of the world. It's an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. This does not mean that you become cold and distant. Instead, it is realistic and understanding that perfection is a myth, especially in human behavior. Open and honest communication is your best tool. If doubts creep in, talk about them. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Maybe things will clear up. Don't be afraid of these conversations. They are bridges that can lead to deeper and more meaningful connections. A conversation can momentarily change the clarity of a misunderstanding. But remember, it's a two-way street. Listen as much as you talk. This balance of speaking and listening creates a dance of rhythm, words, and understanding that strengthens friendships. At the end of the day, it's about building a friendship based on trust, not an afterthought. 3. Lack of social opportunities. Moving through the maze of modern life, you may encounter a silent truth that the lack of friends is not always because we do not meet people, but often because we do not interact with the world around us. Our phones buzz with notifications, but our hearts yearn for real relationships. Imagine, volunteering in your community isn't just about helping others. It is a door to meet souls who care about the same things as you. Whether you're planting trees or organizing books at the local library, each shared task is a thread that connects you to a social network. These actions reflect the Stoic virtue of promoting the greater good. And in doing so, you will find partners along the way. But don't forget the power of shared knowledge and passion. Imagine walking into a room where everyone speaks the language of your profession or hobby. Workshops and seminars related to your interests are not just about adding lines to your resume. They are favorable places to make friendships. In these spaces, conversations flow effortlessly when you're surrounded by people who understand the nuances of your work or passion. It's like finding your tribe, where professional development and personal connections go hand in hand. Also remember that the outdoors has its own social fabric. Activities such as hiking, cycling, or group yoga are not only about physical health, they are catalysts for connection. In the embrace of nature, conversations bloom like wildflowers. These activities remove the formalities of a typical social setting and allow real bonds to form. And while you're there, practice gratitude to the world around you and to those who share these moments with you. It's not about having a lot of friends. It's about cultivating connections that bring color to your life. This approach, based on simplicity and sincerity, makes the search for friendship a rewarding journey. 4. Lack of social skills. Friendships do not arise by themselves. They require effort and the right approach, which is often overlooked in our busy lives. A lack of social skills can be a major barrier to building meaningful friendships. Remember how Marcus Aurelius exhorted us to subtly love the fates that bring us into our lives. It strives to accept social opportunities, however small. Start with manageable steps. Strike up a conversation at a coffee shop. Join a local club or join online communities with shared interests. These small interactions are the building blocks of trust in social settings. Like a plant that needs water and sunlight, social skills require care and patience to thrive. One key factor in developing social skills is attentive listening and empathy. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, listening is what sets you apart. Ask questions not only to answer, but also to understand. Immerse yourself in other people's stories with genuine curiosity. This shift of focus from your perception to understanding others creates deeper connections. The goal is not to impress others with your wit or stories, but to create a space where others feel valued and heard. Also take the ups and downs of social interaction with stoic composure. Not every attempt at conversation will lead to a lifelong friendship, and that's okay. Every interaction, whether it grows into a friendship or ends, is a step forward in your social journey. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It is a natural part of human interaction. With each experience, you will not only develop your social skills, but also learn to navigate complex relationships with grace and flexibility. Remember that your worth is not related to the number of friends, but to the quality of your relationships. 5. Changing circumstances. Sometimes the lack of friends in our life can repeat the story of the boy and the apple tree. The story reflects how our priorities change as we age, often drifting away from the connections that once meant the world to us. Like children, our friendships are like playing with a tree, pure and unencumbered. But growing up as a boy, we shift our focus to what is important: money, status, home. In this search, we may unwittingly neglect friendships that once sheltered us, like an apple tree that provides shade. This change in priorities is not unusual. It's part of growing, developing. But the longing for connections that make us feel seen and understood remains unchanged. The philosopher Seneca understood this well. He talked about the value of friends in life's journey. And yet, he reminded us to choose them wisely, because not everyone who comes into our lives has to stay. It is a gentle nudge to cultivate what is important, to tend to the garden of friendship. So in the midst of changing circumstances, remember a Stoic perspective: the ability to see life as a journey. Don't see these changes as losses, but as opportunities to redirect your path, find new connections in unexpected places. Accept the ebb and flow of friendships with an open but caring heart. Let go of the idea that teenage friendships are the only friendships worth pursuing. Each stage of life brings its own gems, its own moments of connection that are waiting to be discovered. And in this journey, your worth is not measured by the number of friends you have by your side, but by the depth of your relationships.